Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. This year I will be doing a farmhouse themed Christmas. All the supplies that I will be using will serve as a basis to show you how I put items together for my projects. I hope that they will serve as an inspiration to give you ideas on how you can put things together for your holiday decorating. And I hope that you will enjoy this whole series. And as always, to all of you, Merry Christmas. Alright, today I have a special project for you. It is a 2-in-1. And the supplies that I'm going to be using are mainly from the Dollar Tree, so it's going to be a cost-effective project. And you can decide whether you want to use it as a centerpiece or a wall hanging. So this is going to be my Christmas sleigh centerpiece or wall hanging. Let's get to the supplies. Alright, so the first item that you're going to need, and these are from the Dollar Tree, are these candy cane wire shapes, as you can see right here. These are, let me see, do they have a size on them? They don't. It just says metal wreath on them, but it is shaped like a candy cane. We're going to need these to form our sleigh. We're also going to be needing one of these wooden signs. I have a regular sign right here, and it kind of has a little shape here at the front, like a little sleigh. If it's square, it's just fine. It'll work perfectly. We're going to use that one. If you wish to paint it, then you're going to need some craft paints and a brush to do that. Otherwise, pick a design that you like. I did find one that looks like a sleigh, and this will be perfectly fine. We're going to need some deco mesh, and the Dollar Tree does carry deco mesh. I didn't go shopping for that because I decided that I was going to use whatever I had at home, and unfortunately I do have enough of something, but it's not the color that I want to use. I wanted to do a farmhouse, so I'm using more of browns, whites, and creams and colors like that. I am using a touch of red, but it's really just in little berries that I add to my decor, so I'm not going to use, you know, like a white or the red. I am going to be using instead a deco mesh that I got from Hobby Lobby, but they do have this cream colored one at the Dollar Tree, so if you do find those, get those. And I've got this. So how many do you need? You're going to need about 4 rolls, 4 to 6 rolls of this. Let me make sure. Yes, about 4 rolls of the Dollar Tree, because this is only 5 yards. You're going to need that. I'm going to explain this a little bit more, so you may just need 2 of them. But for now, we need at least 4 of those. And if you do buy them from Hobby Lobby, this is a 5-inch by 30 feet. You're going to need at least 2 rolls, okay? Dollar Tree rolls, you're going to need at least 4 of them. Hobby Lobby, at least 2. Okay, and we're going to be using some ribbon as well. And I did get these from the Dollar Tree. And I've got 3 rolls because you're going to need at least that. And if you do not want to use all that ribbon, you want to use mesh, then get 7 to 8 rolls of deco mesh instead of getting mesh and ribbon. But you are still going to need a roll of ribbon to make a little bow. Okay, now this is either going to be a centerpiece or a wall hanging. As for my wall hanging, I just need a little bow, maybe some little berries and some little flowers. I've got leftover pieces here. Some of these are not from the Dollar Tree. Some of these are from a different store, Michael's. Some of them are from Hobby Lobby. Right here, this is a Michael's one. These are from the Dollar Tree, so you can get little inexpensive poinsettias. So you could use that for either the wall hanging or for the centerpiece. I am going to be doing a centerpiece in my final project. So I've got some candles. These are battery operated from the Dollar Tree. I've got 3 of them. You don't have to use all 3, but I think they will look cute all 3 put together. I do have some garland from the Dollar Tree that I'll pull out because I did forget to grab that. I'll grab that and you'll see that in a minute. I'm going to use some little ornaments. Here's some tubes. They are at the Dollar Tree. Inexpensive little ornaments, or if you find them anywhere else, Walmart or wherever you happen to be shopping, or your craft store, grab whatever little ornaments if you want to put that on there if you're making a centerpiece. Okay, we're going to need lots of chenille stems or floral wire, and my chenille stems, we're going to be cutting them like either into 3 pieces or 4, and that's a 12 inch. It's either going to have 4-inch pieces or 3-inch pieces, but you need a lot of those. Or like I said, floral wire. This is a 24 gauge in case you're curious. We're going to be using the hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, wire cutters, scissors. I am going to be using my rotary cutter and my mat to cut on, so we're going to need that as well. Now, like I said, all these little items, these are all going to be kind of like an optional thing and your little decorations if you want to buy all of that. Okay, let's get to crafting so that you can see where all of this is going. All right, here is the garland that I did get from the Dollar Tree. This is a 15-foot piece of garland. It is thin and it is wired, but I thought it was great for that reason, that it is wired, and it's obviously goes a long way. I've already been using it. It was, again, it's only $1 from the Dollar Tree. I've actually got a little scrap that I use in another project, and I'm probably going to use that. And I'm going to need some twine. If you don't have twine, you can use a thin ribbon or a little, any other little rope that you see fit for hanging. I'm going to put that to the side. So the first thing you want to do is you want to prep your signs. Now, like I said, I'm going to use the design that's already on it, on this little board. I did love the little sleigh idea. I thought that looks really cute. I can put it on there just so you can see how it looks. But I'm going to go with this finished look because it has the colors that I want. Okay, but if for some reason they do not have the design that you like, just, you know, sand down any little bits of glitter on them and paint them either white or red or whatever color you want, or brown, whatever color you want your little sleighs to be, you know, the bottom portion, or yeah, I guess it would be the sitting portion of your sleigh. Not the bottom, but the sitting. Okay, so that's what the first thing you're going to do. But like I said, I'm going to leave mine as is, and I am going to be preparing it with some chenille stems so that I can tie it down, but I'm going to wait till I'm at that point where I am going to put it on there so I can see how far apart I need to put the little chenille stems, and I'll explain that when I get to that point. Okay, so let me show you the idea of how this is going to become a sleigh so that you can understand that. I think you can see it really well on this green here. Okay, or let me put it on the white. Let's do that. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Excuse it. Okay, so we've got these two candy cane shapes. Now, they have a slight, you know, roundedness to them, but they only have it on one side. They don't have it on the other side. So I can't like do round sides going on the outside of my sleigh. The rounded side is only going to be on one side, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to cover this with mesh, so it's not going to show. So this is where you need to make a decision. When you make your sleigh, is it going to be a centerpiece in the middle of a table? If it is, then you're going to want to decorate the outside and then also the inside of each of your candy canes. If it's going to be like an arrangement that you're going to put up where there is a wall behind it, then you really only have to decorate, oops, let me get this, the outside of both, which is the rounded side. But you're going to see, obviously, this rounded side, you're going to see it on the inside underneath your little plaque here. But because it's on the, it's going to be, this is still going to be facing you, all this, you still want to decorate this. So you only have to do one side of each. If this is going to go on a table or on a mantle, and you're not going to see the other side. But if it's a centerpiece or a wall hanging, you have to do both sides with mesh. I hope you understood that. But that's how the sleigh is going to be formed. And on my candy canes, the one thing that I noticed about them is it has a little bit too much of this curve. So I'm going to cut off right along here. The same on this one. So let's get our wire cutters and take that off as close to that other piece that's going down. Cut on the outer side of it, not on the inside of it, because we don't want to remove that little bit there. We want that to stay there. Okay, and get some good wire cutters to do your cutting. A lot of you have asked what wire cutters I use. These are called, the brand is Nipix. This is what they look like. Okay, these were a gift to me, but you can find them on Amazon. Just put Nipix wire cutters and you'll see a whole bunch of different ones. They're a little pricey, but they are well worth it. I've had these for years, and as you can see, they still cut. And I don't have the strongest of hands, a little bit of arthritis, but I can still cut really well. Okay, so now I've shortened these, and if you'll notice, it has little sections. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same over here. Now I've already done a little bit of math and I've written everything down so that I'll know exactly how many pieces of mesh I need to cut. So if I buy the Dollar Tree rolls, which are 6" by 5 yards. So 5 yards is 15 feet. 15 feet is 180 inches. I want to cut 6" pieces, so 6 by 6. So out of the 180 inches, I get 30 pieces that are going to be 6 by 6. Okay? If I want to cover the front or the two sides of each candy cane, I need 96 6 by 6 pieces, which means I need 4 rolls of this, okay? And if I only want to do, you know, one side of each, then I need 2 rolls, okay? Now I'm going to be using this Hobby Lobby one. Let me bring it down here. This is a 5" by 30", and I'm going to cut 6" pieces. So in this case, I got 5 by 6. So this is 10 yards, which is 30 feet or 360 inches. 360 inches, if I'm cutting 6" pieces, I'm going to get 60 pieces. Now remember, I said I need 96, so I'm going to need 2 rolls of this. Now if I'm only going to do one side of the each, then I need just 1 roll. I hope that helps you. Now I am going to be intermixing some ribbon, and I've got these 9-foot rolls, which are 3 yards. So 3-yard rolls are 9 feet, which is 108 inches. Out of 1 roll, if I cut 6" pieces, I can get 18 of these. So I need at least, to do half of what I want to do both sides, I need at least 3 rolls. Otherwise, with maybe 2 rolls is enough. Oh, no, I need 3 rolls for singles because I'm doing half. But if I want to do it doubled, I need 6 rolls of ribbon. I happen to have 4, but I'm only going to use 3 because I don't want to add that much ribbon. I just want to put it in the middle here and there in between the mesh, just so it makes all of this fuller. Okay, so after I've told you that I need 96 pieces of mesh, I am noticing that this little curve and this part right here are a little bit longer than these, and I was thinking 4 would go on each, but I may end up putting 5 in these, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other sides, that's 8 more pieces that I may have to cut. So we'll get to that point. We'll worry about that when we get there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to cut 96 pieces of my 5 by 6, or if you want to use the Dollar Tree, again, you're going to cut 96 pieces of the 6 by 6. Okay, I shall be back after I've cut all of that. Okay, so I've cut all my 6 by 5 pieces, or 6 by 6 if you're using the Dollar Tree mesh. And I've cut quite a few. But let me tell you how I put them together before I put them on there. And then we're just going to roll them up. Get a little piece of chenille stem. A little bit longer than this one. I'm just grabbing a little shorty one for now, just to show you, because I've already cut all my pieces and rolled them up. Just grab it from the middle. Twist the chenille stem around it. Leave the 2 little ends open because you're going to use that to tie them onto your form. Okay, and I did the same thing with the 6" pieces of a ribbon. Okay, let me tell you how many I cut to do one side of the candy cane. I decided that I would need 26 because I said there's 6 sections here. The first 4 will have 4 of these each, so that's 16. But these 2 here that are kind of rounded off are a little bit wider, so I'm going to put 5 on each one, so that's 10 more, so 16 plus 10, that's 26. But I actually ended up cutting 30, which means I cut an extra 4, and I'll explain that to you when I get to that point, because I'm going to first tell you what I did. Okay, so I took my form, and as we discussed this in the beginning, it is rounded on one side, and on the other side it goes in. But this candy cane only comes, you know, in one way. I can't do 2 of them. They're both rounded on the outside. So I'm going to have to do one as the outer portion of my sleigh, and do another one over here. And they're both going to be rounded off on the same side. That's okay. It's not going to matter because all the mesh is going to hide that. So I'm going to start putting 26 of these little curlies that I made on this top, the second to the top. There's 1, then there's 2, then there's 3, and then there's 4 rows of metal here. On the second to the top right here, I'm going to start putting these little bits of mesh all the way till I get around here. Now, once I get around here, they're going to be kind of like on the inside. So it's going to look really bare because this part, you're going to see it. The rest of this, and let me show you what I'm talking about. I've already done one of these. Here we go, right here. I've already done it, and I put 26 of the curly meshes, and then I've done 16 of the ribbon, because then I've gone in and used 13 of them to go and put at every 2 mesh I put a ribbon. So every 2 curlies I put a ribbon, and then I put another 2 curlies and then another ribbon, and so forth till I've done 26 of these little curlies and 13 of these. The extra 3 and the extra 4, I ended up putting extra on this last portion. This last portion like that. I ended up putting extra 4 on there because when I brought it around and you're looking at it from the top or from the, you know, the side, because this is the way the leg of our sleigh is going to be. All of this mesh, you don't see this part on the bottom. That's all on the table. And then on the top, we're going to put that little board, so you're not going to see, you know, if anything looks bare. This is basically going to get pushed like that, and it's going to make it real nice and full. But when you get up here to this part, where it's not going to have anything pushing it down, then you're going to have a really bare spot. So I ended up putting 4 more, but instead of on this one that's on the second one from the top, I put it on this one, on the second one from the bottom here, as it goes around. I put extra 4, and then I also put extra these little ribbons. So that's why I cut extra also of the ribbon. Okay? Now, on this one, I did it on the rounded part. This one right here. This is going to be the opposite on the other side. So this, everything that I just did right here, I am now going to do it on the part that kind of goes inside. Okay? That way I have these 2 sleigh bits like that. So I'm going to do the same thing. On the second row from the top, I'm going to put 26. And then on this other little row right here, I'm going to put 4. And don't worry too much about anything right now. It's all going to be on this inside part. And then I'm going to explain what we're going to do to the opposite sides, which is this one here and this one here, when I get to that point. So let me go ahead now and do this one just like this, but like that, okay? So just put them like that so you don't make a mistake. The little 2 hooks facing each other, like if you were going to make a heart. That way you can remember that now you're decorating this from this side. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start right here on the second from the would be the top, putting 1, 2, and then just tighten them, and then just kind of squish your little chenille stems down. After you put 2 of those, put a little ribbon. Let's push that one over a little bit. Okay, put a little ribbon. And then 2 more curlies. It's actually easier to do it, you know, work on the inside because this part sticks out, so it's easier to reach in and, you know, grab that chenille stem to twist it. Because before, when I was putting them on this side, I had to kind of reach in there to twist, and it's actually a lot easier this way. Okay, and 1 more curly cue, so I have 4 on this first section. There we go, and now I'm going to put a ribbon. And I'm going to continue. Okay, we're going to pretend for now that I have done that all the way over here. Okay, so then this portion here, these are going to have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me do this last parts just so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to put 5 on the, again, on the, let's do it from the inside. The second to the top, which is this little row right here. That's why you should finish it all the way. That way you can keep track of what you're doing. So 1, I'm going to go ahead and put all 5, and then I'll put the little ribbons in between. 2, I'll twist them a little bit better for myself in a minute. I'm just doing this quickly for you. 4, 5. Okay. Let me look at my other one. And it ends with a little ribbon. So at the very point, I'm going to put a ribbon right here. And then I'm going to skip 2. Now you do it the other way. Put your ribbon, then your mesh, then your 2 meshes, then your ribbon, then your 2 meshes, then your ribbon. Okay. Push 2 out of the way. Put a ribbon. Okay, now I want to show you real quick here what I'm talking about. See how this all looks real nice and full here? And it pretty much covers all this wire, because you're not going to see that, because this is going to be down like that. Okay? And then there's going to be the board right here on top, so you're not going to see. So all this is going to look real nice and full. But this other one over here, there's not going to be a board here covering anything. So you're going to see on the edge here that it looks really, really bare. You're going to see this wire right here. So in order to cover that wire, we're going to take now on this other row right in here and add 4 meshy ones, 4 of these curly ones. So I'm going to put 1. Let's get that in there. 2, and then I'm going to put a ribbon. And then 2 more mesh curls in there. And this is kind of a lot of work to do. And I had said that whatever I did on one side, I was going to have to do to the other side. But I had to make an executive decision, and I will tell you that once I finish this off, and I'll be back so that I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, 4 meshy bits. And then 2 extra, or 1 extra ribbon here also. There we go. Okay. All right, so all together, it's going to get filled with 30 mesh and 16 ribbon. Okay? So let me go ahead and finish this off right here. I'll be back and I'll explain. But before I do, real quick, I just want to show you now, when you look at it now, this ribbon here, this wire right here is now being covered really well by this mesh. But don't worry about it right here, because we are going to put some more on this other side. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do when I get back. Alright, so here are my 2 finished candy cane pieces that are going to be the little bits in the sleigh here. Again, I did one of them on the rounded part, and I did the other one on the inner part. And they're going to look really pretty once I get it all together. Again, it's 30 pieces of mesh that I used on one side, 30 pieces of mesh here, and 16 pieces of ribbon on each one of these. So all together, I have 60 pieces of mesh and 32 pieces of ribbon. So now we're going to take this and we're actually going to make a sleigh out of it before I start decorating the inside. When I first told you about this, when I first started the video and I was telling you how much mesh you're going to use, I had said that we were going to do both sides full of mesh. And I've been thinking about it, and this is why I'm going to continue in a different way. So instead of going ahead and put another 30 mesh here and another 16 ribbon, another 30 mesh, another 16 ribbon here, I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together as a sleigh. So all I'm doing is just pushing these little bits upward, because it's going to lay flat like that. So I'm going to do the same to this one, making sure that all my bits are going out this way. Don't worry about the ones coming around on here. So I'm going to do the wall hanging first. So what I did is I took my 2 board pieces, and then I've taken some chenille stem that I folded in half, and I glued them right at the center, right here. Let me show you. So I've got some pieces of chenille on there. I did the same thing to this other board because I'm going to use this one as a centerpiece, which is what I intend to have as a finished product for myself, for my own decor. But for a wall hanging, I thought this was really cute. So I'm going to show you by using this one so you can see the difference by using the one that looks like an actual sleigh and the one that is just a board. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to turn it around like that, of course. And then on this very top edge of wire is where I'm going to wire down the sleigh board. So I'm just going to decide more or less where I want it. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of align it. And I want it right about here. So I'm going to take the chenille stem. I want you to be able to see this. Put the chenille stem through there. And then just tie it. As tight as I can. I'm just going to do a couple of little twists for now. Then I'm going to bring this one, part of the chenille stem, bring it through that piece of metal there, and then wire it. Wire it down. And of course, once you have it wired down, you're probably going to want to put some glue so it doesn't move around. So just bring it as tight as you can. Let's get in there. There we go. And now that I've got this side on there, and now I want to put this side. So I'm going to also do the same thing on this top metal piece right here. I'm going to get the chenille stem and bring it through there and then over here as well. So this one got tied down right at the very bottom here. This very first section. Tie it down. You can always reach under there and tuck all that in or cut it with wire cutters. Do this side over here as well. Okay. And now I've got this. Okay, there we go. I've got a little sleigh right here. Now, let's get all this to bend forward. That looks good. I love it. Now, if I was to decide that this is a wall hanging, which is what I'm going to do, this is as a sample, I'm going to want to put a little bow right here, hang it down, maybe some little flowers. You don't have to do too much decorating on it, but there is something that you need to realize is because I said whatever you do on this outer part, you have to do it to the inner part. Now, once I put it together like this, I realized that I don't really need to put it on the inner part in here because you're not going to see it, but I will put some on the end here, and I would put some on the part that curves around on the inside. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's put it like this so you can see what I'm doing, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of these little mesh bits and just tie them in there just to hide this back part here. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, four little pieces just to make sure. So I've got enough here. I've cut extra. So 4 here. So actually that'll make it 34 on this side. Let me just put 3. Let's put 3 here. Let's put 3 over here. Alright, so on the inner part, the very back here, I just put 3 little curlies of mesh just so that when you look at it like that, when it's actually standing on the table, you see this covered and you won't be able to see the wire in there when you look inside like that. So I want to do the same thing right here because as you can see the inside right here. So I want to cover that up, and I'm just going to lean them like that so I can see what I'm doing. I want to cover all this up with mesh. So I'm going to cut some of these up. I've got a few of them, a little extra ones here, but I'm going to cut more because I do have more mesh, thankfully. I told you to get that many rows of mesh, so we have enough to do the whole thing, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to do this little part here and then right here. So let me go ahead and start doing more of these. I'm going to fill this in. I'll start off with the ones that I have here right now. I have 4 of them. All you're going to do is just anywhere on the outer or even on the inner part, just put these in there, twist them on there. to start covering, and I'm going to put it on both rows like that of the wire, so I can cover up all these bits, all these chenille stem that I twisted. That's where I tied it. So I want to hide all that now. So I'm probably going to put, let's say I'm going to put 10, another 10, 20, and the same on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have 40 of these, which is perfectly fine, because at the end I was going to say I was going to need 90 something, and at this point I have 30, that's 60, and then I said another 20, and another 20, that's another 40, so altogether it's 100. So we'll have enough. Okay, I shall be back once I've got this all covered, and then also on this side. Alright, I have completed putting all the mesh on the inside part of the sleigh, and there you go. It is now going to be a wall hanging. I'm cut up some string here, some twine that I will put at the back. So I'm just going to tie it up to the wires back here to create a little string where I can hang it from. At the front here of my arrangement, I am going to decorate my little sleigh. I've gone ahead and taken 2 of these little ornament balls, little snowballs, and I've tied them to some rope here, and I'm just going to hang one, I'm going to hang one a little bit lower than the other and make a little knot. And there I can have a little base to put some glue with my glue gun. And you can put that anywhere you want. I'm going to put this right off here on the side. Right there. Let those little snowballs hang. Since there's little snowmen, I thought little snowballs would be a cute little theme for that. I'm just going to make a simple little bow with some ribbon. Let me get this out of the way. I'll tie that up in a little bit. Okay. Just going to take some ribbon. And let's see, about 40 inches or so. 36 to 48 inches. And I'm just going to take it right in the middle. Gather it. Make a loop going the other way, pinch it, gather, and then twist this pretty side up. I'm going to do the same with this end over here. Make another loop, pinch it and twist it, so that again I have this pretty side up. So now I have this little simple little bow, and right in the middle I'm going to take a chenille stem, tie it up, twist, and just twist that chenille stem in the back of it, and then you have a little base there now for some hot glue, just like that. We're going to put that right over that little knot from the rope. Let's bring these back this way. Fix our little loops and our little tails. Just get that on there. I'm going to trim one of them a little bit shorter, just at an angle. The other one a little bit longer. There we go. I don't want to cover up that snowman right there. So the little tail's just going to go across it like that. I'm going to take a flower, a little red poinsettia, and I'm just going to trim it as close as I can here to the bottom. Trim off as much as I can. Bend that little bit. And then put glue right on the back of it. Right there. Put that right in the middle of my bow. That looks so pretty. And then I can take some berries if I want, a little bit coming down on one side. I'm just going to trim off a piece here. Ooh, let's use my wire cutters. There we go. Put a little bit of glue right on here, little tip. And then I'll just tuck those in right underneath here on the flower. I think that's enough. We don't need any more decor. You could put more if you want. I think that looks really good, just like that. Let's get that to make sure that glue's on. Okay, there we go. All right, let me put this up. I'll put the string on the back of it first, and I'll bring it up so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I've put the string on the back, the twine, so that I can hang it. And there we go. This is the finished wall hanging. I'll put it on the wall, and then you can see it a little bit closer. But this is the finished wall hanging. This is one of the 2 ideas that we could do with these candy cane to create a sleigh. I think it looks really cute. It's really full, especially up here. And well, what I'll do now is I'm going to switch over to the other board that I wanted to use for myself, for my own decor, my farmhouse decor, and that'll have the colors that I want. And I will then do a little display on it so that it'll be a centerpiece. But for now, this is the wall hanging. I hope you like it. Alright, so I've switched over the boards on my sleigh to one that will match my decor. So then, of course, you'll use whatever you feel is right for you. Of course, also, this here does not have to be this color. I chose this sort of a burlap color. You can choose a red. I will tell you that Hobby Lobby, they do have a black mesh also in that 5-inch width by 10 yards, which would be great if you did this in black. It would be kind of something very different. I like this. I'm very happy with it, so I'm going to use it as a centerpiece, and then I'm going to move this one over to the side a bit. So now here I have it, and I'm just opening this up just to make sure that it is staying where it is. Now I've got some garland that I said that I got at Dollar Tree, but I did have a little kind of a piece that I had from another project. All it was is that I took some garland, some length, it depends on how much I want, and just cut it at a specific measurement, and then I'll just twist the little edges together to create this little wreath, and that can just go on top of my little board that I have on here. Now you're probably saying, oh, well, you're covering up the whole design. What was the purpose? You know what, it has this little wood look to it, kind of a little wood planks on here, so I like that. Otherwise you could just paint the board however you want. Okay, so now I have 3 of these candles, and I've lit them up. Only 2 of them are working. I don't know why the third one isn't. A third one would fit in here just fine. I think it looks really pretty, but I'm only going to use 2 for this particular project. I'm just going to sort of one to one side and the other a little further back. I'm going to take some ribbon, just like I did with the other arrangement, the one that I did for the wall hanging, but this time I'm probably going to have like some shorter tail, so I'm just going to decide about how long I want them. Make a loop, pinch, twist, make another loop. I do have it in my description box below how to create multi-loop bows like these, little handmade bows, so you can look at those videos. This is just a little quickie. I'm just going to do a 2-loop bow, cut it at an angle, take a chenille stem, wrap it around, cut the other end, the other tail at an angle. It's also, this could be more loops, but I'm just going to do 2 little loops, just like a regular bow, and that'll get hot glued right there. Or I could take the chenille stems themselves and then just tie it around this little wreath, get them on there, and then just twist them in so they don't show, and then I can fix up my bow. That looks really pretty. I've got these little flowers. These were actually from a fall bush that I got from, I think from Michael's, but I'm going to use them because they do go with my decor. And I've cut them off of the bush. They were in a bush, and I've cut the stems really short. I don't need them to be long. I always bend the little stem a little bit, put some glue, and then just start tucking them in so that it sticks to the little garland. If you want to create the little garland off your board so it doesn't glue onto your board, do that. Or if you don't mind it gluing onto your board, then go ahead and do it right on there. And I don't really mind. Put another one on this side. Just making sure I tuck that little stem in so that we don't see it. I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. Alright, I'm going to continue decorating that, and I shall be back. Alright, so all I've been doing now is I've been filling it in with the little cotton balls that I have, and I'm going to take some of these little berries and cut them into smaller little bit pieces, and then I'm also going to glue those onto my little wreath here and there. Just put lots of glue on it. I need another one over here. And I'm going to put a little cluster right in there where the bow is to cover up the chenille stem that's going right in the middle of it. And that is my finished project. Here's my centerpiece. Okay, so I will also pan the camera around so you can look at it a little bit better. All right, everyone, here is my finished centerpiece. I really like it. I hope that you will too. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you will give me a big old thumbs up. Make sure you leave a nice comment down below. Let me know if you think that you'll be making this. What would you change about it? Just leave a nice comment. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do put out videos every Tuesday and every Friday, and they will all be crafts till the end of November, but I will maybe skip, or not skip, but slip in a recipe video here and there, and then of course in December I'll go back to my usual schedule, but I will be doing a little bit more Christmassy still in the beginning of December. Okay, that being said, thank you to everyone who has already subscribed, and thank you all for your very nice comments and your motivation and your inspiration, and also make sure you share on your social medias, and as always, enjoy.